You won't believe the chaos that unfolded when my new neighbor, the self-appointed queen of an HOA I didn't even belong to, tried to kick me out of my own home. Stick around till the end for all the jaw-dropping twists, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another unbelievable story like this one. When I first bought the house, I thought I was stepping into peace, freedom, and a place where I could finally set down roots without constant interference, but I had no idea that my move would ignite a firestorm with the neighborhood's self-proclaimed ruler, the HOA Karen, who despite having absolutely no authority over me, seemed determined to control every breath I took and every move I made from the very first day. It started on moving day, when the trucks pulled up and my friends and family began unloading boxes. The woman stormed out of her pristine brick house across the street, hands on her hips, glaring at us as though we were committing a crime, and before I could even introduce myself, she marched straight over, barking, "You can't park here, you can't move in like this, and you need to get approval before making changes to the property," to which I calmly explained, "Actually, this house isn't part of the HOA, so your rules don't apply," but that only fueled her anger as her face twisted red and she screamed, "Get out now!" Right in front of everyone, shocking my family and leaving me wondering what kind of nightmare I had just moved into. Yet I wasn't about to be bullied out of a house I had legally purchased, so I brushed it off and focused on moving, but her shadow loomed, literally, because she stood at the edge of my yard for hours, snapping pictures with her phone and muttering loudly to other neighbors about how I was going to ruin the community, and within a week I began receiving fake violation notices, stuffed into my mailbox with demands like repainting my door, removing a garden gnome, and not leaving trash bins visible, all signed HOA board, even though I knew very well she was the only one behind it. And when I ignored the bogus letters, she escalated by calling the city on me, reporting fabricated violations such as unsafe construction, when I was simply planting flowers, or illegal parking, when my car was neatly in my own driveway. Yet every inspector who came recognizing it as the harassment that it was, but that didn't slow her down. Instead, she launched a campaign to turn the entire neighborhood against me, spreading rumors that I was some reckless outsider who bought the property to flip it into a rental party house, whispering that I was lowering their property values. But luckily not everyone bought into her lies, and slowly some of the quieter neighbors began approaching me, admitting they were tired of her antics too but had been too scared to stand up to her. So I knew then that I wasn't just defending myself, I was exposing the monster who had controlled this street for years, and the real turning point came one Saturday when she completely lost it. I was setting up a barbecue in my backyard, music playing softly, friends gathered around, when she stormed through the side gate uninvited, screaming at the top of her lungs, "You're violating noise ordinances. You can't have gatherings without board approval. This is my neighborhood, not yours," waving a folder of fake documents like a weapon. And when I told her to leave my property, she actually called 911 claiming I was threatening her. But when the police arrived and I showed them the deed proving my home was outside HOA jurisdiction and played the security camera footage capturing her trespassing and screaming, they didn't arrest me, they escorted her away instead, warning her that further harassment would result in charges. And for a brief moment I thought the nightmare might be over. But no, she wasn't done, because a week later I woke up to find spray-painted words across my garage door reading, "HOA trash get out," and though she denied it, security footage once again showed her sneaking around at night with a can of paint, which finally gave me the evidence I needed to file a restraining order. And while she tried to spin it as if I was targeting her unfairly, the court wasn't buying it, especially after hearing from other neighbors who testified about her history of intimidation. And slowly, her iron grip on the block began to crack as people realized they didn't have to fear her anymore. But just when I thought the storm had passed, she tried one last desperate stunt, forging a letter on city letterhead demanding I vacate due to zoning violations, slipping it into my mailbox thinking I'd panic and move out. Yet once again my cameras caught her in the act, and I turned all the evidence over to the city attorney, who pressed charges for harassment, trespassing, vandalism, and forgery, finally forcing her to face consequences after years of unchecked bullying. And the day the sheriff's car pulled up to her driveway was the day the entire neighborhood seemed to exhale in relief, people coming out to thank me for standing up where they couldn't. And while she avoided jail time with probation, she was banned from contacting me or any other neighbor she had harassed, leaving her isolated in the very kingdom she once ruled with fear. And today when I sit on my porch, sipping coffee, watching kids ride their bikes freely without being lectured about sidewalk chalk or lawn heights, I can't help but smile, because I didn't just win my own freedom, I gave the whole street back its peace, proving once and for all that sometimes the only way to deal with a raging HOA Karen is to stand firm, document everything, and never, ever let them scare you out of what's rightfully yours. And if you've ever faced someone like her, you know exactly how satisfying it feels to watch the villain of the story finally lose their power. But if you haven't, just remember this story, because you never know when you might move into a place where one person thinks they own the world, and if that day comes, don't back down, because the law is stronger than their screaming voice, and justice, though slow, eventually comes crashing down on those who think they can control everyone else forever.